Hi, it's Victor here from SecPoint with a weekly IT security news TV show. We have a lot of very exciting news for you today. The first one is about Twitter sues the US government over sharing limits, voiding the First Amendment and not allowing Twitter to respond to the users about the information they are sharing with the government. And more companies are taking security and privacy concerns more and more seriously. The next story we have here is about the FBI and the Silk Road attack, where they were hacking a server in Iceland to get to the information and the evidence. And FBI are saying that they can hack servers overseas and in other countries without having a warrant, and that they will do it. We have another story about the shell shock vulnerability, the 25-year-old security vulnerability, proving that no operating systems are really secure. A lot of very high-tech systems, Linux-based, Unix-based, personal computers, SCADA, industry systems, all got hit by this vulnerability. And the question is, what type of similar vulnerabilities will we have in the future? And that no system is really secure. A new recent interview with Edward Snowden revealing a lot of new things. One of the key things he says is about privacy tips: get rid of Dropbox, avoid Facebook and Google, since all your data can be at risk. He's talking about the government programs. They are avoiding the First Amendment and the Fourth Amendment in the matter of the right to associate, freedom to associate, and protection from awful searches without any warrants, of course. He's also talking about if you are using the popular claim, you have nothing to hide, you know, the government can look at everything, you don't really care about your right to privacy. It's the same as saying you don't have the right. So that's a very, very dangerous approach, since there's a reason there have been made the amendments, so you are protected from the government and from unlawful things, of course. But a lot of people don't care about that today. They think it's granted, they have the rights. He also talks about if you are at the point where you have to justify your rights, then you are going in a wrong direction, since it is the government that have to justify that they are violating your rights, of course. So there are a lot of discussion about this, and again, the average people on the street in many cases don't care at all about their rights. So getting more focus on this area is a very important thing. A lot of people can argue if it is a good thing with the Snowden revelations or a bad thing. And it shows more and more in the end, of course, that a lot of companies are taking privacy concerns much more seriously after the Snowden revelations. And if we didn't have had Snowden, maybe they wouldn't have changed anything. So there are a lot of discussion in that area. We also have here a very large increase in distributed denial of service attack. More than 133 Gbps attacks reported in 2014 alone, and we are only in October right now. It seems more and more attacks are happening over the SSDP, Simple Services Discovery Protocol, and probably in the future there will be even more distributed denial of service attacks. There are even activists that are arguing that distributed denial of service is a form of activism and it should be allowed. You can also argue the other point: if you take down a company or corporation or private or public site, you are limiting a lot of users to have access, and that can result in a lot of damage cost, of course. So it can be argued if it is, really for privacy, for a way of expressing their voice, or if it should be illegal. We also have a story about the very popular Cyanogen mod for the Android, running on more than 10 million devices, vulnerable to a man-in-the-middle attack because they're reusing old code. And that can allow people using the web browser to be subject to different types of attack. Of course, the Cyanogen mod are already aware about the issue, and the patch will be coming very soon. We have another story here about Yahoo getting hacked. Recently, their Servers were infiltrated, sports API servers and code being executed on the servers, and Yahoo denies it was the shell shock vulnerability, but admits it was some other vulnerabilities, and that code was executed. They say the attack was very sophisticated, bypassing intrusion prevention and web application firewalls, and of course that they are doing all they can to resolve the situation. We also have another story about a monster banking Trojan botnet, more than 500,000 victims in this attack here, called the Q-bot, where they infected 500,000 systems, sniffing the conversations, hitting the largest US banks. If you are a customer at one of those banks, it's very important you check your banking statements, make sure there are no unauthorized transactions, and if you see anything unauthorized, you contact your bank for the next step, how you retrieve what you have lost. Another very big story hitting recently in the follow-up of the celebrity pictures, nude pictures leaking. A lot of famous celebrities taking nude pornographic pictures, putting them online, hoping it's not getting leaked, and of course it gets leaked, it gets hacked. And now we have another story about the Snapchat, very popular chatting application for minors, for children underage. And of course they use this service to send nude pornographic pictures to themselves and to their friends. And the question is, who is responsible? Is it the parents to the children or the children themselves? And in this hack here was hacked more than 200,000, what is known, pictures. Many of them are nude. Of course, a lot of children should be taught about that anything you put online will probably be leaked, be hacked, and be online forever. So only put things online that can be allowed to be hacked. It also links to the Edward Snowden post about using Dropbox. Only put things on Dropbox you don't mind, being leaked or being hacked. Don't put your sensitive nude pictures there, because it probably will be hacked in a matter of time. Then we also have a story about e-readers using Adobe software for PDF readers, that they are spying on the users, they're seeing everything you're reading, the data, and of course Adobe is denying that they use this information for any malicious things, and they only collect all the information about your reading patterns and what you search and everything to enhance the security of the products. And it also shows that all of the data, including the title of the books and everything, to the Adobe server is being stored in clear text and is not even encrypted. So again, you have to reconsider every time you are using ebooks, for example. When you have the books in your hand, nobody can see what you're reading, what you're marking, everything. But when you're using the ebooks, you might actually expose a lot about your own information. And automatic systems and government agencies can use this information to build a pattern about your thinking processes and how to attack you later on. We have another story on the shell shock. Hackers are spreading Kden macOS malware used for distributed denial of service attack, including the Apple macOS X operating system. Normally you only hear about that Apple can never be hacked, but even because of those groundbreaking flaws in basic old security things, we are now seeing even Apple macOS X is under attack. Then we have a story about Internet Explorer stars in a monster October patch Tuesday, as well with Oracle and Adobe. So make sure you always have the latest patches for everything you're running. Make sure you only run the software you really use, and if you have software you're not using, get rid of that so you're not at risk if you don't get the patches. We have another story here about a store in the reference to the recent hack attacks, where we have some large chains in the US losing up to 56 million bank card details in the Home Depot attack. Even the employees knew about, they had very weak security, advising their friends never to use their credit cards in the stores, only use cash. Now we have another store chain called Kmart also admitting for a month that their payment cards can likely be compromised. So if you shopped in either Kmart or in Home Depot or other stores, and you check your bank account, check your credit card information, see if there's any unnatural information, and then take action on it, call your bank to get a process to get it revoked. So thank you for watching this weekly IT security TV show, and make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel, and for more information please visit SecPoint TV. Thank you.